Wow, look at this. Here we can see the chain drive setup in this vintage Fraser Nash. Proper 70s colours here. Merch on the windscreen. What a fantastic looking car that is. That's a bit nice. This is one of the best looking Cobra replicas I've seen in a while, an 8.2 V8. Today on Car Traction we've got the mighty Series 90 Straight 8 1931 Buick out. It's the first time we'll be taking it to the Cars and Caffeine at Combermere, a meet I'm sure pretty much every channel viewer will know by now. It's basically the best breakfast classic car meeting out there. We've got a really good forecast coming along today, even though it's a little bit overcast now, and this is the sort of meet where if there's a really good forecast it will be absolutely packed. And also if there is a good forecast, sometimes you get a couple of really standout cars that are just like a level above the rest of your typical classic car show stuff. Last month there was a Lamborghini Miura that turned up. The owner of that also has a Countach. It's been an Aston DB4 GT, a Maserati 1950s racing car. What else has there been? Loads of, like, occasionally you just... The Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing has also come. So it's the sort of day where we could get something really standout like that, but even if we don't, there's still going to be an amazing turnout. So before, I don't know, you guys get bored of this intro, let's head over to the Old Piggery Cafe because it should be a really exciting day at the Combermere Abbey breakfast car meeting. Proper 70s colours here, merch on the windscreen. It's still very early, so there aren't too many cars, and there's an MGC Roadster and this absolutely stunning, haven't seen it in a little while, Jaguar XK140 fixed head coupe, absolutely stunning, and another Ferrari 456. I say another because I'm not sure if I filmed it, but the organiser has recently bought that Ferrari 456, a gorgeous manual car in blue, V12 up front, and I think this one might be an automatic. No, a manual as well, there you go. Two manual Ferrari 456s. These are heralded to be like a Ferrari V12 bargain at the moment. It's a good thing this came early. Lincoln Continental. This meet will probably get very busy later on, and it's a good thing he's got here while there's plenty of space, because that probably takes up about 4 of them. It's like early 80s. This is a lovely Dax Cobra replica. And these, everyone seems to love these at the moment. The Mitsubishi Evo, but it's like a Pajero or something. The sort of like Dakar style homologation for like the Dakar car or something. I don't know too much about them, but they're very, very popular cars. Austin, Cooper, Mini Mark 1. Lancia Beta, no way. That's amazing to see. The Wolseley Hornet van, converted from an estate Mini, I think, because that was never actually a car that was produced by BMC. It's an amazing conversion, and that stunning... Is it a Silver Cloud? Is it a Silver Cloud? Yeah, Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Absolutely silent V8, I think, in that one. Another stunning car we haven't seen before, this Mustang Fastback. Look at that. 1966, 289 cubic inch V8. Sounds like a manual as well, which makes it extra special. That is absolutely stunning. Porsche Fuchs wheels on this slammed VW Beetle convertible. That's a bit nice. This Mk1 MX5 is supercharged. You can hear it whirring away.
Thank you.
An interesting pair of cars rolling in now. Haven't seen that one before. A Mark III Toyota Supra, sort of car you really don't see anymore. And a lovely Mark II Jaguar in white. What else do we have? Mark II Escort, lovely livery on that one, very nicely restored car. Some form of Westfield or similar special car, 4-cylinder up front. Yeah, that white Mark 1 looks absolutely lovely. Sounds it as well. XK straight 6, probably a 3.8. Quite a few cars rolling in now, and a Suzuki Cappuccino. Gotta love the Suzuki Cappuccino, 3-cylinder K car from Japan, little sports car. Tiny. Lovely Austin-Healey 106. Wow, look at this. Ferrari 308 rolling in. Absolutely photogenic car. What an awesome shape. 308 GTB, mid-mounted V8 engine, gated manual gearbox, quattro valve. I don't think there's ever been a Combermere Cars and Caffeine meeting with fewer than 20 TVRs. Always such a good selection of the classic British sports cars, Griffith up front and Chimera behind. A few interesting cars rolling in now. This Capri sounds awesome. 3-litre V6, and that is the most flicked up ducktail spoiler I've seen in a long time. This MGVA always turns up to the Combermere Cars and Caffeine meet. Fiat 850 Sport. That's a fantastic little car. Morgan behind. Reminds me of our old Renault 4CV, now departed. Rear engine, funny little cars like the 4CV. On this row, probably a similar era to our Buick, 1931. It'll be mid to early 1930s. The stunning MG V8 Tourer. It's great to see this one back out on the road. And yeah, it's just got an absolutely stunning dash on that 1930s 4-seater family Tourer. Just behind, we have the Mercedes AMG. Is it a GT or a GTR? I really love the look of those. And just up front, this is the organiser's car. I bought it recently at auction. He says it was for a bit of a snip, and I mean, yeah, these are very affordable cars at the moment, these Ferraris. It's a 456 Ferrari. It seems that he has his Porsche 914 currently for sale. Maybe this one's a substitute for that one. He's usually into his Stuttgart manufactured cars, but yeah, gated manual 6-speed naturally aspirated V12 Ferrari GT for I don't know what price it is, but probably not as much as you'd think. It's absolutely stunning. I think that's just so cool. Pininfarina designed, and of course there's another one here in silver as well. Here is a car quite well known to the channel, the VTEC Mini. Basically a 1980s era Mini that has been completely re-engineered around the front end to fit like a, I don't know, is it a K20 or something, Honda 4-cylinder, really revvy VTEC engine underneath there. It's an unbelievable setup around the front of that one underneath the bonnet, and a very, very quick car. This is a 997 Carrera GTS, a very smart car, this one in dark, is it dark blue? Very dark blue, and the red interior. And then for a bit of 930 generation action, 1980s era, this absolutely just jaw-dropping. I think it's a 911 Carrera, this particular one. Yes, it is. So the same body shape as the full-fat turbo, but this is still naturally aspirated. So it's, yeah, The Turbo was nicknamed the Widowmaker, so I might go for a Carrera just before that, because turbo lag is a very sketchy thing in high power rear engine rear wheel drive cars like this. And once again, the TVR 3000M, an awesome looking and sounding car, is out and about again. And it's good to see this one again. This one was here last month, haven't seen it too much recently. The Fiat 595 Abarth, or 6695, sorry, Abarth replica, is an original Fiat 500. It's just been tuned up, probably to quicker than the original standard actually. It's a very nicely put together little car, 650cc engine. We have another almost identical Mercedes AMG GT. I literally just saw an identical to this about a few seconds ago, and here's this stunning XK140 fixed head coupe. Haven't seen this one for a little while, so it's good to see it out and about again. Proper road racer, debumpered, slightly tuned engine I think, original walnut dash, bucket seats, but traditional style bucket seats with the 4-point, is it 3-point, I don't know, something point harnesses. Here, a few beefy sounding V8s rolling in. Oh, it's here again. This is probably one of my favourite cars. Look at, wow, that is a really rare car. That is stunning. But I'm coming over here. I'll probably have to turn my microphone around because the car down there sounds unbelievable. Well everyone, I'm sure you can understand my diversion. Wonderful Lincoln Continental for a much more relaxed V8 American car, but this Mustang hasn't been here for about a year or so I think, and it's just the craziest, wildest sounding car I think I've ever heard. It is unreal, it's like nothing else, and it's probably the standout car, as I mentioned earlier, for today's Combermere Cars and Caffeine. We've got to have a look at this one. I appreciate not everyone is into American cars, but it's just on another level, that one. Look at this, the old Audi Coupe Quattro. That's really cool and in lovely condition. So this is a more modern era Shelby Mustang, and this is the proper classic one down here. Bullitt replica. I dread to think how much it cost to get that car looking and sounding that good. It's just unbelievable. And we've had a few 356 Speedsters turning up today as well. Probably not original ones, a lot of these are based on the Volkswagen Beetles. I mean, effectively the originals were based on Volkswagen Beetles. Here's the Fiat 850 Sport. Things have got a lot quieter now. That's a lovely little car. That's actually quite loud as well. Morgan Plus 8 Z4. That Audi Quattro Coupe is really cool. Quite a few people have been drawn down here about that booming V8. This Range Rover Classic here is absolutely immaculate. An original manual gearbox car. The vast majority of these automatics Rover V8. It's an incredible condition car. Here's the Jag Mark II 3.8 manual overdrive car. Absolutely wonderful once again. That Capri is absolutely awesome as well. 3 litre V6, the Essex Ford V6, and a proper ducktail spoiler on that one. TVR Chimera, TVR Griffith, Mark IV Golf GTI, Grandad in the MGB GT, and Harvest Gold has a V5, one of those. DB9 convertible, very smart. I think they might have a V12 up front as well, so certainly can't turn your nose up at that, can you? Fiat Coupe next to the Toyota Celica. That's the supercharged Mark 1 Mazda MX-5, and this is a lot more of a standard fastback Mustang. This is what that one would have looked a little bit more like originally. So this was the basis for that awesome Bullitt replica. And you know, these are really desirable cars now. They're like, I feel like they might be a sort of homologation for the very successful Dakar or off-road style Mitsubishi Pajeros, but really desirable car, and it's so cool. Now look at it, it's really, really cool. Here's the Lincoln Continental, and look at that. Wasn't expecting to see anything proper vintage today, but a Fraser Nash has just pulled up. That's really cool to see. 1920s racing car. Yeah, wasn't expecting to see one of those here today. There's that crazy Westfield or something similar. Extremely rare imported Cadillac convertible here. Something you really don't see in the UK. Jaguar F-Type. Another V8 Vantage Aston Martin. Audi convertible, that's rare. I'll have to have a look at that Fraser Nash and that stunning CLK Mercedes Black Series. That is something else. MGC Roadster, lovely looking car. BMW Z4, here's the other Porsche Speedster 356, most likely based on a Volkswagen Beetle, a replica effectively, but a pretty faithful one. Actually, the way to tell if they're original is the original cars had a pull-out handbrake from underneath there, like that. It's like a Ford Anglia or a Ford Pop, if you know what I'm on about, but this has the conventional floor handbrake, so that means that this one I do believe is a replica, but you know, they're beautiful, aren't they really? They're so cool. And if you can, you know, basically get one that looks like this, it's still a Beetle engine in the originals, you know, why not? Because it's basically just as good, and you wouldn't have to worry about anyone getting too close to it in the Sainsbury's car park within reason, because it's not an original one, and it's not the telephone numbers of an original one, so I, you know, can't complain at that. TVR Griffith in that lovely blue, and a pair of Nissan Skyline GTRs. These are unbelievably tunable cars, the straight sixes, and little Suzuki Cappuccino 3-cylinder K-car sports car, revving to probably about 11 at a guess, 11,000 revs. These are really desirable little cars actually. They go for a lot more money than I would have thought they would actually, because they're really that desirable. Yeah, let's have a look down here. Got the pair just beyond our Buick, the Harvest Gold pair, Granddad's MGB GT, and very you could say almost religious views of me and Dad's channels, the MG Midget, also in Harvest Gold. I was talking to the owner of this one a couple of weeks back, and I think this is it's a totally original, unrestored, 19,000 miles since new MG Midgets. It's an incredible little car, really. And also in that so 70s colour, Harvest Gold, just like Granddad's MGB, which a couple of months ago I drove here with L plates on. Check out the channel homepage for that video, that's quite interesting. And of course, on this lovely 1275 MG Midget we have some merch. Just next to the MG VA is this absolutely wonderful Noble M12 GTO V6 mid-mounted engine, proper driver's car, manual gearbox, super quick and absolutely immaculate, that one. Very smart SL350 here, but just beyond it is this absolutely stunning Ferrari 308 GTB Quattro Valvole. I think that's how you'd say it. Gated manual, matched up to a mid-mounted V8 engine. And there's another classic American rolling in now, just behind our Buick. I've seen that car before. I think it's like a 54 or 55 Chevy Bel Air, incredibly modified. But that is one of my favourite cars here. That is awesome looking Ferrari 308. This is it a 992 or 991 generation Porsche GT3 RS? Looks really clean in that blue, next to the Aston Martin DB11, I believe that one, Mark II Escort, and a beautiful Austin-Healey. This one 106, so the predecessor to the big 3000 that you see most often. This is a 2.6 litre straight six engine. The 3000 was a 3 litre, effectively the same engine, just bored out a little bit more. What else is there? You can see just behind the Daimler over there. We'll go and have a look over there actually. That's a lovely Healey though. Just behind that is that lovely Austin Cooper Mark 1 Mini. And this is quite a car as well, because it looks a little bit like our Jag with a bit more chrome on it, because ours is the Sport, so it's got more black trim. But this is a V12. It's a Daimler version, a long wheelbase, and it's a V12 in that Jag, which is pretty crazy. Jaguar XK, lovely looking car. Alpine. And there's a Morgan just on the other side of the Austin-Healey 106. A couple of Lotus Evoras, are they? The Evora GTs. Mustang there, we had a look at those. 992 generation, I think that one is. 911 Carrera 4 GTS, so 4-wheel drive. Porsche 911, probably only a couple of years old. And look at this. Wow, a CLK Black Series Mercedes. These are extremely rare cars and very, very desirable indeed. I think they look absolutely awesome with those wide arches. And then for something completely different next door, we've got this fantastic 1920s Fraser Nash here, proper VSCC racer, this one, although this one looks to be more of a road car, maybe not quite as abused as some of the guys on the trials and the VSCC Prescott Hill climbs and events like that. Can't see anything that gives away what particular year this particular Fraser Nash is. Lovely polished aluminium dashboard with the brass rim dials. Very cool pre-war racer. Let's see what else we have. The Fuchs wheeled, the Porsche 911 wheeled, VW Beetle Cabriolet and the Lancia Beta. Oh wow, look at this Velocette. That's a bit nice. Is it like a Velocette Mac? Something like that. Look at the helmet as well. Proper, that is right. So this is like a 1930s single cylinder Velocette. That is gorgeous. That is really, that is lovely. Yeah, I love the sprung saddle, low slung era of vintage motorbikes. Look at this, proper original condition. Looks like the engine's probably never been apart in all of its 90 years. That is gorgeous. Yeah, I'd love to own something like that. These are my favourite sort of bikes, especially being a Velocette. Velocette was quite a high up maker. They made some pretty quick bikes. This looks to be like a 250 single or something similar. They made some pretty successful racing bikes, Velocette, and this is one of the smaller ones, but just look at this, absolutely gorgeous. Divine classic motorcycle. I'm sure you can tell. That is one of my top, I was going to say top cars of today, but yeah, top motorbike of today for sure. Just beyond that lovely XK140 and the other Ferrari 456, we find this stunning Porsche 911 Carrera. This, I'm not sure if it's an original Carrera, but it's certainly been tuned up and done up to an original, or maybe even quicker than original specification. It sounds gorgeous, this car. It's been a while actually since it's been here, so I'm looking forward to recording it leaving, along with many other cars, including that Mustang, because that sounds just otherworldly. But it's a fantastic livery, isn't it? It's just so cool. You know, personally, I much prefer the look of something like that to this more modern era, obviously in better performance, but I just prefer that proper visceral driving experience manual and something like that, although many of these are actually sold with a manual, and this is in fact a manual gearbox. These have is it a 4-litre flat 6 engine in the rear, unbelievable intake sound, don't get me wrong, these sound epic, and especially with a manual gearbox. And that's a lovely colour. You know, it's a beautiful car, really lovely colour, great looking wheels. I just love the classics. That is absolutely photogenic. And for a real rarity, a Mk1 Ford Focus in yellow. They're meant to be really nicely driving cars actually. Here we can see the chain drive setup in this vintage Fraser Nash. What a fantastic looking car that is. This is one of the best looking Cobra replicas I've seen in a while, an 8.2 V8. TR3 on those big wire wheels, also rolling in. It's actually a really good turnout today, to be fair. Yeah, we'll have a little look down here, because I've been up on the top section, so there's probably been some cars that have arrived since. Oh wow, yeah, lovely Austin-Healey behind. Good to see that TR3 out again. That is absolutely beautiful. That's a 3000. Lovely, yeah. Mk1 Austin-Healey 3000. Beautiful sounding 6-cylinder engine. Lovely colour scheme as well on that one. That is one lovely Lotus Elan. Let's check out this overflow section. the late arrivals, Triumph TR3 and that stunning Austin-Healey 3000, Ford Sierra, the Droop Snoot Vauxhall Forenza Coupe, Porsche Boxster, that looks smart and blue, doesn't it? And this really unusual Calibre, I think Mustang that one is, incredibly modified CST-10 Chevy pickup, Mark II Escort, Mark the MX-5, they have some great looking bubble arches on those I think. More Porsche wheels on the Beetle, this one, the usual hardtop Beetle, there are Porsche wheels on that convertible Beetle. And this is it a VW Jetta or... I can't remember what this one was called, it was something, is it a Derby? No, I think it was the Derby, this one, isn't it? Yeah, Volkswagen Derby 1.5, incredible condition, really is amazing, and those, what are they? Compomotive wheels look stunning. Yeah, let's get a look at this stunning Bullitt replica Mustang Fastback. It's the most unbelievable sounding car, this one. As I said, I dread to think how much it costs to get this car like this. Probably a right-hand drive conversion. Most likely a complete nut and bolt restoration to get this one looking this good. But I'd say it's worth it because it is just the most unbelievable looking Mustang I've ever seen. It's just absolutely on another level to any other car I've seen. And they're great, aren't they? The Porsche 356 Speedster. A couple of cool little 90s racing numbers here. The Peugeot 106. These are actually quite good track day weapons. That looks a very nicely tuned car. Those with like a sporty intake or even individual throttle bodies sound awesome. And look at this. Is it a Volvo like 940 saloon? I don't know the exact numbers, but this has been turned into a proper stripped out track day weapon. Wow. This looks like quite a smart and usable Triumph TR6. These all sound absolutely glorious. 2.5 litre straight 6-cylinder engine. Looks nice and usable. Amazing looking TVR Cigaris parked up here as well. TR4 down here, and quite a smart looking Mini on those black Mini like wheels matched up to those period correct Dunlop race tyres. That's actually a really smart looking little car. And an E-Type V12 here, Series 3. Oh, a manual as well, an original 4-speed manual car by the looks of it, or potentially a conversion. 1972. That's a cool reg as well. Quadruple 9. Rare manual. Smart sounding Escort, that one. Fiat 850 Sport is off. There's another lovely classic car rolling out now that I somehow managed to miss in my whole walk around. It's a BMW 2002 that's been resto modded in a turbo format with the bubble arches and cool livery, but it's powered by a Honda S2000 engine up front, so effectively like the VTEC Mini, a resto modded classic with a VTEC Revi 4-cylinder engine. It's a pretty crazy car, that one. I'm sure it goes pretty well as well. You can tell it's got a VTEC engine in it. Well everyone, as you can see, things are pretty deserted here at the Old Piggery Cafe, the Parkview Business Centre. Actually this bit is the Piggery Cafe, is all the way up there, all the cars coming down here. My favourite car is the standout car, there has to be that absolutely awesome sounding and looking Mustang Fastback, and I also think, not blowing my own trumpet, the Buick was a standout car. That was a very popular car. I think we've shifted a few leaflets as well today, so do let me know what your take home car would be out of this lot. Check out on the homepage for like probably about 30 other videos of the eclectic mix of cars you always get at Cars and Caffeine at Combermere. And that is pretty much it from today's video. Thank you very much for watching.